Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Morning Java. I'm CT. He is Dodd.
Good morning, sir.
It is a beautiful Saturday today, actually.
Yeah, it is.
And luckily, somebody came in here, either turned the AC on for us, or I forgot to turn it off Wednesday.
Well, I did not turn it on, sir, but you never know. We do have Sarge that tends to help us pretty well, so.
Well, I called him last night, and I said, called him, I messaged him, and I said, dude, can you go next door and turn on the AC? He came back a few minutes later and said, oh, it's already on. I was like, oh, great. Either Dodd went in there.
Nice.
Which I didn't see happening that early anyways, because I figured if you did, it would be on your way home.
True.
Right? So I figure, me being the idiot I am sometimes, I probably forgot to turn it off on Wednesday.
Well.
So, hey, it is what it is.
It is. That's why I remembered to bring my light jacket.
Oh, were you afraid it was going to be too cool?
Yeah, because I figured if it was on, I didn't want to shiver through this episode.
I mean, the weather has gone.
It just bounces so much. I'm like, just take a jacket with me just in case.
And I was looking at the deal for next week. It was like 91, 92 at some point.
Oh,
what?
No.
Oh, well, hey, good morning, Mike. I see you over there, buddy. He's got his coffee. He's ready.
Nice.
That's good. So as we wait for people to come in, welcome, everybody. Welcome to the listeners on KYRO 1280 AM, 105.3 FM. Happy to have you.
Indeed.
Yeah. Lots of things going on.
Yeah.
Biggest thing.
Yeah.
Well, we had the DNC this week.
Oh, wasn't that fun?
No, not even a little bit.
It was the most jacked up thing I've ever watched.
Did we not say, I told you this was going to be a huge cluster. It was literally a bunch of chickens cackling in a yard.
It was so bad.
No policy discussed, no nothing. All it was Trump, 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 Trump. That's
Pretty
all
much.
they could talk about.
Yeah.
And then you had this fantastic rally in Arizona. Leading up to the rally, rumors of RFK.
Indeed.
We know that RFK actually went to the Harris group and said, hey, I guess he was looking for a cabinet position. All right. Wouldn't even talk to him. They don't want nothing to do with him, his own party, right? So he's like, you know what? You guys don't represent my beliefs anymore. This is not the party of democracy. This is not the party of, that it's supposed to be. The party of the working man, the party of this, party of that, this whole list. So for the first time in, I don't know how many generations of Kennedys, we have a Kennedy who's no longer in a member of the Democratic Party. So he goes independent, decides he's going to run independent.
Yep.
In that process, he has spoken with Trump. Okay. And though in his words, and I'm going to paraphrase because I'm not going to quote because I don't remember the exact words, but basically, we disagree on some things, but we agree on some very key things. So the rumor was that he was going to bow out of the race. And endorse Trump. In that process, Trump was asked, hey, would you consider RFK for a position? Yeah, I would. Absolutely. Good man. That's what he said. I mean, these are his words, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you move a little further into this rally. RFK announces, first of all, comes out to the song My Hero. Now, it's kind of, it's pretty cool in a way, and you'll see why in a second. Because at first when he comes out, you're thinking, My Hero? What? Well, that was kind of a Trump to RFK dedication, right?
Uh-huh.
Because let's think about it, right? Let's really look at this.
Uh-huh.
So RFK announces he's not necessarily he's not dropping out of the race. And what he has done has removed his name, has filed to remove his name, I should say, from the ballot of 10 battleground states.
Yeah.
Now, you can still vote for him in these other states, but he's removed his name from 10 battleground states.
10
Now,
very mostly
yes.
red-leaning states.
Because here's the thing. He knows the danger of today's Democratic Party.
Uh-huh.
He knows the danger of this Kamala Harris administration. What Biden and Kamala have done for the last 4 years, 3.5 years. So let's look at this strategically. This is a hugely strategic move on behalf of moving America forward as far as getting back to what we once were, getting back to something that even remotely resembles that, which we did really well. We were on a great path for 4 years under Trump. And then all of that was destroyed in the last 3.5 years from day one, really.
Yeah.
So the song My Hero, I felt afterwards was like, okay, I get it. That's fantastic.
I thought it was pretty cool.
So yeah, there you have that. And I'm not I was never a really huge RFK guy. I mean, at first I was, because I'm not like mad at him. For a Democrat, he was very much in the middle ground. You know, he was never that far left. And let's face it, the Kennedys today, if his father and his uncle were to run today, they couldn't run as a Democrat, I don't think.
No.
Because they weren't that out there. Now, one of the things that was announced by Trump during this rally regarding, and he announced this with RFK standing beside him, as a matter of fact, that one of the things he wants to do is to form this, basically it's a full transparency committee regarding presidential assassinations and assassination attempts, promising to release any and all information regarding the deaths of not only the death. Okay, let me reverse it because it goes better this direction. Not only everything regarding his own attempted assassination, but also the deaths of his father and his grandfather. His father and his uncle.
Yeah.
So, which is something the American people have wanted for a long time, because everything we've got is redacted. All you see is if, the, but, and, if.
Yeah.
And I would be conspiracy theorists are going to go nuts on that one. Because how many conspiracy theories have we had regarding Iran, Cuba, Russia, China, CIA, this, that? There's so many different conspiracy theories out there. And everybody's got their own.
Well, I think we're going to find out if this election goes in Trump's direction. I think you're going to very quickly find out what's all behind that.
Well, without a doubt. I'm going to tell you one thing. Watching that rally, if you're a conservative, it had to have fired you up, because that was a very, very good rally.
Well, and the other side that was so interesting about that whole thing, and I think Trump pointed out best when he was introducing him on the stage, bringing him up. It's not like these are two guys that don't know each other. And that was pretty clear. These guys have known each other for a long, long time. And it's like, let's just do this. It's not like how he's kind of had his feelings about Joe and Camilla, et cetera, he kind of pointed out he's known this guy longer than he can really remember. Well, that seems pretty reasonable. If you're playing the big game in New York for that long,
well, and you're right.
You guys are gonna be in the same circles of people.
Exactly. When you consider that whole Northeast and the businesses the business deals that are made throughout that entire Northeast.
Yeah. That was pretty cool.
Lots of respect between the two, I think.
I also thought the look on Kennedy's face when the crowd actually went like hardcore when he came out. I don't think he's used to that at all. Like, he has rallies and people would show up, but not filling stadiums rallies. Not that kind of thing. I think it was an excellent choice, and it was bound to eventually happen. I
was going to say, and Mike made a good point, and don't forget in all that too, at one time, Trump was a Democrat.
Right.
So they ran in even more of a circle.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Mike, bring me an air pump for an air gun, bro. Come by the shop.
Mike, did you hear that, buddy? Bring
Yeah.
an air pump for the air gun.
Anyway.
Very good.
This is what happens when you forget to call people, and then they're in the comments. You're like, oh, yeah, that thing.
I mean,
Yeah.
It's not like you can't respond to his 12 emails a day.
Well, that's true.
While you're emailing me, bring the pump to the...
Oh, that's fun. Yeah, I thought that made for a pretty cool Friday, which basically just let the air out of anything that the DNC tried to pull off with their convention.
Well, yeah. Oh, they didn't pull... So, who was this special guest that never showed up?
Oh my gosh. So, apparently, according to the Democrats, that special guest was Kamala.
How is she a special guest?
You're not a special guest if everybody's there for your coronation. That doesn't make any sense.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. I was like, what? Stop it.
That's great.
That makes no sense whatsoever. It was a ploy to try to hype up ratings so they could talk about how many people tuned in and how many people watched. And what's really interesting is if you're out there on the if you've got excuse me, the monster hasn't kicked in yet. If you're out there and you've got the Tucker Carlson News Network, you need to get on that. And he did a live stream of watching parts of the DNC with another guy. It is worth watching. It is really worth watching because they go into what happened to the DNC, where they got off the rails.
On just this, you mean, or in
As
history?
an entire thing over the last 60 years.
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
It is cool.
Where did he pinpoint that they went off the rails?
Johnson. That's where they really...
Which is very... that's very interesting considering RFK.
Well,
LBJ was questionable anyways in that whole situation.
Well, basically what happened is...
Like, he didn't even let the body get cold, man.
No. So basically what they were kind of talking about is... It kind of went off the rails then because Johnson is the one that went through and he made all of the giant changes to social services.
True.
And when he made those changes, essentially it damned the inner city black voter. And that's what this guy was talking about. He was, I believe he's a football coach. I don't remember who he does political stuff now. But he was like, you can see the turning point. He was like, because before, in the 60s, you had the Democrats that are like, no, the Constitution says you can do this. And no, you can have protests. No, you can't turn troops loose on Kent State, et cetera, et cetera. He's like, and then all of a sudden, Johnson. And then, boom, now everybody's a Democrat. And he was like, and then progressively, if you watch it, it just keeps
But that's what he said he was going to do.
Yeah.
He said he would have them voting Democrat for the next 50 years.
Correct. And he pointed that out. And he's like, so you go down this list. And he goes, here's the thing. They went from being Democrats to kind of social Democrats. He's like, until you get to where they are now, which is they've already passed over socialism. You have two heavy Marxist candidates who are actually running together, which is not wrong. This whole moving past what was and what can be, that is right out of Mao. No question about it. That phrasing is even right out of Mao.
It's funny you bring that up because and one of the things I wanted to talk about today was Kamala talking about control of the market as far as and now if you go back and you look at the Russian history and the words of Stalin, what Stalin did was the exact same thing.
Yes.
And then which basically here's what she's talking about doing. You control production and you control price.
Correct.
Well, let's go back to how do you do that? Well, let's go back to something else that Kamala has said. Kamala did say, did she not, that she will go and snatch up those patents and take that company.
Yes. Yes, she did.
That's how you control production.
And that is a real quote. If you don't believe us, go look it up. And I'll advise you, don't bother Googling it. You may need a better search.
Yeah, don't go to Google because it's not going to work.
No.
I'm not even sure about DuckDuckGo anymore.
I don't know, but I don't know if you've been paying attention. Apparently there's a entire new suite of email and web searching which is coming out. It looks identical to Google's, the same colors. The pretty except it's an X.
It's an X?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Yeah. That was...
When's that due to be?
Don't know. It was just kind of announced on Twitter the other day. I saw it from Elon's page, which
I'll have to check that out.
How do you guys feel about this? Actual secured information. Not sold.
You seen the meme of Elon Musk and Donald Trump disco dancing down the road?
That is the funny... Dude, I'll tell you what. Like...
You're all like, doing the Bee Gees thing?
Enough people have sent me that I just laugh nonstop.
Great.
I get a message on my phone. I'm like, oh, what did somebody send me? Whoop, it's staying alive again. But here's the thing. You're welcome to send it to me because every time I see it, I'll get a good laugh out of it. So just keep on sending it. It's funny.
It's a great little chuckle in the middle of the afternoon.
It really...
I run across it all the time whenever I'll be flipping through like TikTok or something.
Yeah.
And come across that, and it's hilarious. Speaking of that, there was something else that came up, and you're going to laugh at this. I don't know if you saw this or not. The CEO of Lowe's.
Like Lowe's Home Improvement?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see the latest?
No.
Basically, he said that if conservatives don't like it, they can just go take their business over to Home Depot.
That's awesome.
Okay, sir. Will do.
Not a problem. Well, I'm going to be honest. I stopped shopping at Home Depot once Home Depot started doing all this backdoor lefty stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I'm good. Thanks. Have a good time. And I knew Lowe's leaned a little bit more to that hard conservative side. And I'm like, well, I'll just buy my stuff from Lowe's. Thank you so much.
I don't really... I'd rather not buy from either one. I'll go to Old Monroe or something, or I'll go to, if I can, but sometimes you just can't help it. You got to go to one of them.
Yeah, sometimes I need a new Impact.
Well, then I'm just going to go over to a very different store for that. Harbor Freight. But anyhow, did you see the testing that was done between the side-by-side testing between the Harbor Freight and Snap-on?
Mm-mm.
Snap-on didn't stand up.
I'm not actually surprised. I think
They put-
there was a time where Snap-on was top tier. I think what has happened is it's not anymore.
Well, what they did is they took the wrenches, for one
Mhm.
thing, and slipped them both on, same sizes, right? And then worked them against each other like this, and the Snap-on one slipped every time.
Mm.
Every time. The Harbor Freight held.
Nice. Well, that's definitely the place to go buy a set of
And
wrenches.
everybody thought I was crazy for buying my stuff there.
No. And they typically have some really good deals, and it's lifetime replacement, just like everybody else.
I was going to say
And
that
I'm
too.
like,
Yeah.
whatever. It's half the price. If you break it, go get another one.
Well, Snap-on carried on with the old Sears tradition,
Yep.
if you remember, because Sears was always that way too. The old Black & Decker,
Yeah.
all of that stuff, Craftsman. You could walk in there, oh, I broke my wrench. Oh, here's a new one.
Mm-hmm.
No problem at all. No questions asked. It was a done deal.
Yeah.
Nobody else was doing that.
No.
So Snap-on did it. And for a long time, let's be honest, that was their big selling point.
Oh,
Was,
absolutely.
you know. So and now everybody's doing it.
Mm-hmm. Well, eventually the market dictated you had to. Because if you didn't, you weren't going to be in that top tier anymore. And that's... Well, friends, that's how the free market works, which is the opposite of the Camilla market. The free market dictated that if you wanted to be in the tool business, you needed lifetime replacement on your tools. And now pretty much everybody has it. And that's why. Because anybody who doesn't isn't selling as many tools.
Well, let's face it, you're going to end up going back to the same company every time anyways when you buy something new. So why not give them a lifetime replacement?
Yep.
It only makes sense. To me anyways. But anyways, real quick, big thank you to our sponsors, and we're going to talk more about them a little bit as the show goes on. Safe Harbor Insurance and Winfield, World League Wrestling, Crow Feather Healing Crystal Jewelry, Elliott Flooring, Black Flag Outfitters,
Whoop, whoop.
Blue Line Lawn Care, and Pickle on the Run.
Jen's drinking some pickle on the run. She's in Illinois today running a 12-hour overnight race. Yeah.
That sounds fantastic. Hey, those of you at KYRO, going to send you off to a little break. Stick with us out right here on the video portion of the show. With that being said, we'll see you guys shortly over there. And off they go. And we are still rolling.
And off they go.
Fantastic, right?
Yeah, that's
I
really
love
cool.
how that's done.
I
Bye,
know.
guys. Bye. Bye. See ya.
All right, so we're not on the regular stuff, right?
No.
Holy crap, Tim Waltz, what a bitch. Dude. Like, that guy. Holy crap balls. I have never, ever.
Well, it really matches his walk out, though, doesn't it?
Oh, man, he prances out. Holy crap. Talk about the ultimate lefty light party. Good grief.
Okay, so I'm going to make a video of Tim Walz
Yeah.
walking out, right? And I'm going to take Elton John's song Tiny Dancer.
Oh. Yes. Oh. Oh.
Tiny Prancer.
And, man, I listen to that guy talk. He is so freaking full of crap.
They all are. Like, did you notice that anytime Kamala's asked about anything regarding the economy or anything like that, she never answers anything. It's just a rambling. And they're eating it up like she's intelligent. It's like, how is this intelligent? You have answered absolutely nothing.
Well,
You know nothing. The best words I heard was, and I'll say it again because it's funny as hell. She's like a fifth grader giving a book report on a book she never read.
Yes. It, I think what it shows you is, you hear people going, oh, Kamala. The voter base of the Democrat leftist Socialist Party is just the stupidest group of people known to man. Because if you hear her speak, and then you're like, yeah, come on, what did she say?
Well,
because I heard nothing.
There was a guy on TikTok who was running around doing quick little interviews. Who are you voting for? Kamala. Who are you voting for? Trump. Okay. So who are you voting for? Kamala. Why are you voting for Kamala?
Is this
there's just so many reasons.
Is this the one with all the white guilt people?
No.
Oh, okay.
This is just the whole thing. Every one of them was like, well, there's just so many reasons. Well, name one. They couldn't. Then the person, they say, who are you voting for? Trump. Well, why are you voting for Trump? Well, because I believe he really wants to make America better. I believe that he's, his policy on this and that, and they gave actual answers, whereas Democrats have no answer as to why.
Mm-hmm.
None whatsoever. Well, there's just too many to answer.
Yeah.
What? Like what? Name one. Name one. Nothing. Chirp, 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 chirp. Nothing.
They did one in New York, and it was a man on the street. I watched it, and what you saw is when the interviewer would go and interview different people, not a single black person interviewed was for Kamala. They were all 100%, well, things were better under Trump. I made more money. Things were okay. All of the white people fall into that white guilt thing. And it's funny because this is what the Tucker interview was relating to when he was watching the DNC. They have fallen into this weird, the white people have fallen into this weird cult of, well, I feel so guilty for everything I've done as white people. We really need to just make sure that we're voting for minority candidates because it'll make us feel better inside. They're not wrong. Did you listen to Michelle Obama? If you listen to Michelle Obama, it was bringing back that idea of this white guilt. You've done all of this bad stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, we need to support her because. Well, how about you support somebody because of their policy?
Right.
Because as Tucker put it, I don't give a damn what color their skin is. Do they support the policy?
Well, it was funny that during this DNC was the only time I've heard anybody say anything about her being Asian in any way.
No.
It's always been black.
I know.
Now all of a sudden she's Asian too.
Right.
So which one are you? For years you were Asian. Now all of a sudden you're black because you're running, and then now you're Asian and black. But you need to vote for her because she's black.
Right.
And it's a woman. And the black people deserve a female black president. That's not worth voting for. That's not the reason to vote for somebody.
No.
You vote for them because of their policies.
Mm-mm. Sounds like some DEI crap to me. Thanks.
Oh, you can't say that.
Oh, can I say it? Ugh. It's just weird. It's kind of that thing where you're like, does nobody pay attention?
No.
At all?
No. Not even a little bit.
I mean, you look at I tried. Like, I went through to see, is there any policy that Camilla has put forward in any way? There is no policy other than I'm going to take control of the companies and I'm going to set prices.
And I'm going to take their patents. Yeah.
That's not good. Like, at all.
Well, that's complete fascism, which is what they are claiming the Trump administration is. And welcome back to those folks over there at KYRO. It's complete fascism. Everything that they are accusing the Republicans of And it's that old adage. Remember when your mother used to tell me, don't point your finger because there's, 3 pointing back?
Mm.
It's the same thing. They keep pointing at the conservative party. They keep pointing at the Republicans. You're this, you're that. But yet they're accusing them of what they actually are.
Right. Mm-hmm. Very, very much so. So on the lighter side of fun news for the week.
Oh, what you got?
So there was the FBI, because, I have to.
Okay.
The FBI decided that they were going to charge a guy with having a machine gun.
Oh. Yes.
This is out of Kansas and the Fifth Circuit. Well, cool. However, the court ruled that you can't charge him with having a machine gun because the law making it not legal to possess from 1986, signed by Ronald Reagan, is unconstitutional.
Correct.
And under the rules of Bruin, is part of U.S. American tradition and creates no greater danger in of itself. Oh, the FBI is wishing they would have never brought that case up. Because now the FBI is involved, the ATF's involved. They're going to end up arguing this case all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court again. But here's the deal. The U.S. Supreme Court's not even going to hear the case because they already ruled on Bruin. They've already ruled on the case. And they're not going to hear it again. So that was relatively big news.
The funniest one to me, I'll tell you what was funny. And this made me giggle.
Yeah.
Well, remember Fauci was down with COVID?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no. Now it's West Nile virus.
Oh.
So it's gone from COVID to West Nile now.
Oh. Well, that's interesting. Did you see there's an entire, 2 counties in Pennsylvania that are now locked down for something called EEE? Some kind of mosquito virus. And they've locked the whole counties down.
Pennsylvania?
Yeah.
Well, EEE. I've never heard of that.
Yep.
Where's our resident biologist?
Probably drinking coffee. But
we need to have her come back on the show.
Oh, yeah.
She was fun.
She was fun.
And intelligent.
Yes.
Wow, EEE. Did you find out what that is?
It's some variety of a mosquito-borne virus that may or may not exist.
But what are the symptoms?
The same symptoms everything else has. Fever, nausea, etc., etc. Yeah. Apparently in this county there was one person which had it, and they've locked the entire county down.
Oh, we're going to quarantine everybody.
Uh-huh.
Oh, are they wearing masks?
No.
Oh.
They've created a curfew so you're not outside getting bit by mosquitoes.
Wait, a curfew. Where have I heard that before?
I don't know. Maybe we should ask Tim Walz. He was big on curfews and paintballing people.
That's funny.
Yeah. If you haven't watched that video, be sure you go out there and find out.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to see that one. I was on. I don't know if anybody's ever gone to it before, but it's a pretty cool site. It's called 270towin.com.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a projection map of elections.
Yeah. And
it's up right now for the 2024 election. And currently, right now, they're showing Republicans in the lead with 235. But what I found interesting about it, it's Democrats with 226, Republicans with 235. They're showing that Democrats need 44 more electoral to get the 270 needed to win, and Republicans are needing the 35 to get the 270.
Mm-hmm.
But here's what's interesting. The states that are leaning blue, New Mexico, Colorado, Minnesota, New Hampshire, these are states with Colorado has 10 electoral votes, New Mexico 5, New Mexico, we know, is going to go blue. That's a done deal. I'm sure of it. Colorado, blue. Minnesota with 10. New Hampshire, 4. So on and so forth. But here's the kicker. The ones that are leaning right, that are leaning red, states like Texas and Florida. Well, let's look at this. Texas has 40 electoral votes. If they just got Texas, that would give them the 270. Florida has 30. So if they got 70, that puts it at like 301 or so. But you also add in states like South Carolina, North Carolina, Iowa, Ohio, each with smaller numbers, but 16 for North Carolina, 17 for Ohio, and 6 for Iowa. Now, how many of those are battleground states?
Yes.
So you look at the numbers, and it really looks better for Trump than it does for Kamala.
Well,
and again, this is just a projection, but it's pretty true because as I look at it and I go, okay, this looks actually pretty accurate because they show California, Oregon, Washington distinctly blue, New Mexico and Colorado leaning, Minnesota leaning, blah, blah, blah. Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, all red, North Dakota, South Dakota, so on and so forth. All the correct states are red that I see in here. Tennessee, Kentucky, Indiana, Missouri, Arkansas, Louisiana, so on and so forth. So they're pretty, Virginia, New York is blue, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So it's pretty accurate as to how things go. And if you guys are interested in that, you can go to 270towin.com and check that out. It's pretty cool.
Wow.
So yeah, there you have that. The other funny one that I found was, I believe it was, I got to go back up here to find it. University of Tampa. So, like, they do these training courses and this stuff for resident assistants in, the dormitories.
Yeah.
So one of the scenarios that they're running through now in these dormitories is basically what to do when one of the people staying in the dorm comes to you as the resident assistant and says, I feel threatened by my roommate because they hung up a Make America Great Again flag. So I'm triggered and I feel threatened. That is now part of their training procedure for resident assistants.
Oh.
Tampa.
So we're just proving further that you're soft and pathetic humans.
I'm not denying that. Absolutely. You are correct, sir.
Just go make yourself some toast in the bathtub.
Yeah.
Please.
and as far as the Trump rally, the Foo Fighters can kiss my ass.
Oh, I thought that was hilarious. As soon as I heard it playing, I knew those lefties were going to lose their minds. And I'm like, this is fantastic.
Yeah. So and the reason I say that, guys, is because they're threatening Trump with legal action for using the song My Hero.
Wait till Trump buys your entire catalog and then laughs and plays it forever.
Oh, wouldn't that be awesome? I will pay myself royalties. He'd be like, pull out his wallet, grab a bill, hand it to his other hand, say, thank you, sir. Oh, you're very welcome.
I thought that was pretty funny. I knew they were going to lose their minds. So, we have to do a slight little thing here. Did you happen to see that yesterday, anyway, did you happen to see that Germany had a mass stabbing?
Yeah, I did. And I knew we'd get to that today, too. So, yeah, go for it.
So, some cool town in Germany was celebrating its 600th anniversary, which apparently is quite a festival. That's kind of a big
600
deal.
years, that's something
You've been around a minute. Anyway, apparently, according to the reports, a Arab-looking man stabbed several people to death at the Festival of Diversity in Germany.
Oh, wait a minute. Festival of Diversity. Oh, gosh.
Wow.
What a word.
Yeah, I saw that one pop up, and I went, no.
So he stabs him.
Yeah. I was like, look, you may be able to get by with that with the Breds. And you could probably get by with it in France. I wouldn't poke that bear too hard.
Oh, you should...
You should leave them alone. Because they have a whole country full of really angry people. Like, they pretend not to be really angry people, but they're really angry. It's...
One of the great things announced, too, this week was the trial for, the whole Jack Smith thing.
Oh, yeah.
Because here's what happened, folks. He's revamping his whole thing. So now he will not be going for the mini trial, which means nothing is going to happen before the election. Nothing. That's a done deal.
Yeah.
Because once Trump wins and gets into office, what's that called? You ain't gonna touch him. A sitting president?
Well, let's don't forget his cases keep getting tossed because he was illegally appointed anyway.
Right.
So
There's that too.
I mean,
It's just another win. And the federal judge banned Letitia James.
oh, wasn't that fantastic?
And that was basically from censoring a pro-life pregnancy center.
Yeah.
So,
Can't do that, AG.
hey, how many people did get abortions and get the old snip while at the DNC?
I did hear a number on that one. As of the other night, I believe it was up to 35.
35 people or 35,000? I mean, what?
No, 35 people. There were 35 abortions carried out in the mobile abortion trailer. I guess that's what happens when you're a member of the cult of death. Also known as the Democratic Party. But there you go. I only knew that because Tucker and his guests were talking about it the other night.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Dodd.
Yeah, buddy.
The hardwood flooring at my house
Yeah.
is really getting worn down. It's pretty old.
So
And
what do you think?
I'm thinking about replacing it. The hardwood, and might as well, since I'm replacing the hardwood, I have no carpet. It's all hardwood throughout the bedroom, kitchen, everything. The only thing that's different is the tile that I have in the bathroom.
Yeah. Well, I think you're a multicolored duct tape kind of guy. And the best place to get a nice multicolored duct tape flooring is, of course, Elliott Flooring in Troy. You know, they're hanging out over there at 406 South Lincoln Drive, and they are happy to create things. You know, Ken has got a brand new carpet made out of paper plates and duct tape. And it is really cool stuff. Basically, you get the pretty paper plate with all the decorations on it, and then they put it into a square, and they put it down on your floor, and it looks fantastic. But that being said, all jokes aside, jump out there to Elliott Flooring on Facebook. Go take a look at all of the different flooring options that they have. They have tons of pictures of some of the great, cool, really neat stuff. You know, when you're doing hardwood, it's kind of impossible to put hardwood in a bathroom because of the high humidity, the moisture, etc. They have got a ceramic hardwood flooring. It looks just like hardwood, but it's ceramic, so it can go in places like bathrooms, entryways, stuff like that, where you don't have to worry about it getting wet or anything like that. So you should go by and check them out. That's Elliott Flooring. You can give them a call at 528-63 34. They are in Troy, 406 South Lincoln Drive. They are your friends. They are your neighbors. They live here in your community. They're local. You're not going to save money going to a big box store, and even if you do, the quality of the product you're going to get is absolute garbage. So you may as well go ahead, keep your money local, and check out Elliott Flooring. Find them on Facebook at Elliott Flooring. They are happy to help you. Now, when you get done with that, what I want you to do is I want you to check out our friends over at Safe Harbor Insurance. Safe Harbor Insurance, Dave and Holly, man, they are in Winfield. They are brokers, which means they've got like 20 different companies that they can find you insurance from. It could be for your house, for your car, for you, for your business, your Humvee, your 4Runner, your jet, whatever. They can do it for you. So find them. You can find them on Facebook at Safe Harbor Insurance Winfield, or you can give them a call at 636-578-7426 and get a quote today from Safe Harbor Insurance and let them fix you up and save you some serious money on that insurance that you know you need, but you just don't want to have to pay too much for. Well, take them a copy of the policy you have. Show them what you have, and they'll be able to tell you, hey, this is a good price. Hey, we can beat that price. Whatever it is, go see them, Dave and Holly, Safe Harbor Insurance, Winfield. Now, when you wrap up there at about, let's see, what time is it? It's almost 10. So at 11, I will be down at the gun shop. 203 Main Street, that's Black Flag Outfitters. We are going to be hanging out down there today. Bowfish and stuff selling pretty good again. Guns are selling really good again. Boy, do I have a ridiculous amount of guns right now. I mean, just stupid amounts. So if you're looking for a new rifle, handgun, shotgun, whatever it is you want, come take a look. I've got tons of ammo in stock. I've got shotgun shells back in stock. I even have the elusive 410 shotgun shells that nobody has. You should come by and come see me today. Find us on Facebook at Black Flag Outfitters to see daily deals. And man, do I have some really cool new stuff down there you need to come check out.
I love that place.
Come by, come see me. I'm there until 6 o'clock today. 203 Main Street, Winfield. You can give me a call if you're looking for something. Obviously, if I'm on the air, just send me a text. If you're watching this and you're like, I want to, 636-358-0992. Text me or give me a call, and we will get you all hooked up with whatever it is you need. I had a guy text me just a few minutes ago about doing a repair on a gun today, so we're gonna do that here in a little bit. So please come down, come see me. It'll be a fun time, and you come look at such cool stuff. I've got a bunch of really cool old war guns from, well, the turn of the century. It's pretty cool stuff.
The turn of the century. Sounds like a great show. As the century turns.
Exactly. So you can come down and buy yourself a British 303. And an AR-15 at the same time, and you can leave with both ends of the battle spectrum.
Love it.
I kind of thought you might. I figured that'd make you happy.
It does. Very happy. Oh.
Yeah.
Did anybody go to the Winfield meeting? 22nd?
I didn't go. I saw a post on Facebook. They've decided just to leave the tax at what it is.
Probably a smart idea.
Probably.
I'm pretty sure they would have to put that on the ballot, wouldn't they?
I believe so. I'm not sure.
Because, and that's not going to pass.
No, absolutely not. There's no way that would pass. Nobody's going to be voting for any variety of tax increases. I mean, unless you're an absolute idiot.
You ready for Halloween?
Yeah, that should be fun.
We gonna decorate the store?
I don't know if you want to. I mean, I think it'd be cool if we hung some full body skulls outside.
People steal them.
That's okay.
I mean, but
it still look really cool.
We should make a trip to Spirit Halloween. See if we can't find some skulls hanging on chains or something to put out there.
That's a pretty good idea. I like that plan. I would order them on Temu from China, but they're probably actual skulls.
And the problem with that is what?
Oh, okay, fair enough. I mean, that's fair. You win.
I failed to see the problem.
Yeah. I started there for a second, but no, you're correct.
So we're going to be joined by our good buddy Phil Mallon about after we send KYRO off to their top of the hour break. Phil Mallon will be joining us from the land of Canada, the Great White North, under siege by winter weather at some point in time soon, I'm sure.
Probably. Did you see where?
We always know it. You know what? You know how I know?
How?
When he comes up, when I pop up the video and I see him wearing
his toque?
No, not the toque, but the fur hat with the ears that hang down.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the one.
That's when you know it's snowing.
Always know it's snowing there at that point. We always like talking to Phil because he's not the only one talking. Usually the dog is talking too.
Yes.
Trying to.
The dog really likes to get its interview into.
Which is really funny because it's almost like having Frosty still there because she never shut up either.
Right.
So
oh, that's funny.
Love you, Elizabeth. I'm just playing, honey. Rest in peace, dear. But I used to tease her about that all the time. It's like, oh my God, woman, take a breath. You know what Phil's what Phil's wish for every birthday was?
What?
A day of peace and quiet.
You're hilarious.
No, you think I'm joking. That was our thing. If it was my birthday, it was his day. If it was his birthday, it was my day. So
that's funny.
Yeah. It's like, she's yours today. It's my birthday. I deserve it. Yeah, you do, buddy. You do.
You know what? The other day, I was loading something in the dishwasher, and I thought about the cooking salmon in the dishwasher story.
No.
And I was like, no. Just no.
For those of you that are new listeners or viewers to the program, her mother taught her some very awkward
cooking methods?
Cooking techniques, yeah.
Yeah.
She would wrap salmon and cook it in the dishwasher.
Yeah.
She made her tacos using sloppy Joe mix.
Is that a Canadian taco?
I'm pretty sure she boiled her roasts.
Oh no.
I don't think she boiled them, but it does seem like the English thing to do. What else? Oh, she had some funny stuff. She always had to have her Kool-Aid. Kool-Aid. She would make the Kool-Aid and she would fill water bottles with the Kool-Aid, and she kept a refrigerator there, or an ice box and refrigerator in the bedroom there. So she would fill it up with those bottles. So she'd always have her Kool-Aid. Grape.
I love grape Kool-Aid.
Artificial grape just doesn't... I love grapes, but artificial grape flavoring is kind of... Same with peach.
Peach, I don't like artificial peach. Grape, I can do. That one's all right. Peach is...
I think it depends on the grape. For some reason, Kool-Aid, I can do. Some of these grape drinks, I can't.
No, they're weird.
But nonetheless,
yeah, no. CT, I'm gonna let you take it for a minute if you don't mind.
Okay, I can do that.
Thank you.
Oh, they went off to a break. I wasn't paying attention.
Oh yeah.
Well, whatever. One of the things I guess I could talk about. Oh, sorry. Hang on. My bad.
Well, I can't.
He's like, I'm gonna. It's like, yeah, okay, I'll keep talking.
See,
Nope.
I can't see that screen anymore.
There we go.
So I don't know if I'm on or not.
Oh no, I got you. I'm sorry. I wasn't paying attention. No, because I was watching for the break to happen over there, and I didn't pay attention to that either. So I failed on both accounts. I'm a failure. An absolute complete failure. Anyways, one of the things I want to talk about was Safe Harbor Insurance in Winfield. An absolutely a great place to go for your insurance. They will shop around. They're not under the umbrella of some major company. Dave and Holly, I think over 20 different companies that they work with, and they will find you the best deal if you have a current policy. Hey, it does no harm to just go ahead and bring it in and talk to them and see what they can do for you. What's the worst they can say? I can't beat that. Okay, fine. But what if they can beat it? What if you're overcovered and you're paying for things you don't need? Okay, let's take a look at it. Safe Harbor Insurance in Winfield. Give them a call, 636-578-7426. Dave and Holly and their team, bar none, the best in the business. Fantastic to work with. World League Wrestling, the house that Harley Race built. The next event coming up, I believe, is the 7th. September 7th at the Race Wrestling Arena in Troy, Missouri. You don't want to miss that. Doors open at 6. Bell time is at 7. That's going to be a very, very fun event. So make sure you're there. Let's see. Let's talk about the original Crow Feather Healing Crystal Jewelry. Look, Phil makes some of the most beautiful bracelets and necklaces and pendants, and they're all handmade. All of his beads, all of his stuff comes from his stones. They're either stones that he picked up himself and found, or they're stones that were got from the reservation. These are some beautiful, beautiful stuff. If you have something specific that you have that you like, get a hold of Phil. Send it to him, and he will turn it into whatever it is you want. Some fantastic stuff. You can find him on Facebook and I believe Instagram. I'm not really sure, but it's original Crow Feather Healing Crystal Jewelry. You don't want to miss out on that. And Blue Line Lawn Care. Listen, Blue Line Lawn Care and Landscaping has been taking care of my lawn for the last few years, and I never have to talk to them. I never have to complain. It's always done beautifully. I have no problems with it at all. You can get a free quote from them. Just give them a call, 636-262-9486. They won't run over your cat. They won't trash your lawn chairs. They won't leave grass cuttings all over your driveway and your patio like other large companies in the Lincoln County area who will remain nameless and then not fix it but charge you anyways. No. They will come back and fix anything that you don't like, period. Blue Line Lawn Care and Landscaping, 636-262-9486. Welcome back.
Hello.
Doddinator.
What's up, buddy?
Oh, so glad you could join us.
Me too.
Oh,
Yeah?
yeah, well, you know. Anything in particular you're looking forward to in this next week?
Man, I don't even know what's going on.
It's so hard for me to plan ahead.
Well, there's really no telling what kind of things are going to go on. So I'm just waiting to see what kind of magic happens this week. It should be at least halfway exciting.
Magic?
Magic.
Well.
But I suppose we shall see.
I guess I'll get my headphones set up and ready.
Ah, yes.
Because here in just 30 seconds or so,
Yeah.
we'll be joined by Mr. Mallon.
Oh, will we now?
Yeah.
Our fun and exciting Canadian correspondent, which I'm sure has lots of horrible news from Canada for us.
You know, that guy.
That guy.
That guy.
Oh, there's my headset.
I can figure out how this goes again.
Yeah, well, magically they all get twisted up and weird while we're gone. And for everybody who's tuning back in, and hopefully you're joining us on 1280 AM KYRO 105.3 FM. This, of course, is Morning Java. I'm Dodd, he's CT. We're so happy to have you guys with us. If you missed it, and you're not watching us on the video version, you really should be, then you just missed out on a bunch of really cool stuff. Go find us on rumble.com or download the Rumble app, and then go like and follow our page, which is Traveling East Productions. This show is, of course, Morning Java. You can find us there. And if you're listening to us on headbangersradio.com, we are really happy to have you joining us. Of course, some of the many other ways you can hear us is on any podcast format that you listen to. You can find us out there. Just type in Traveling East Productions, and you will find us on all of the podcast formats, and then you can listen to us while you're out doing other stuff.
That is true. It's very true. He's not lying. But with that, good morning, Phil. How are you, sir?
Good day. Hey, I'm doing great. It's such a beautiful day today, and I just want to thank you, CT, for making me laugh there, just talking about Elizabeth and that. So. And you weren't lying at all about all that stuff. I had to shake my head.
See, told you.
And, like she'd always say when she'd be talking to you, you'd say, "You drive Phil crazy?" And she'd ask me, and I say, "Yeah, every frickin' day."
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. So it's been an interesting week this week. As I'm sure you guys know, is that our National Railway, CN and CP, were on strike. And they're still kind of on strike, but the federal government, the Ministry of Labor, has put in issued an arbitrator, an independent arbitrator, to work out a new contract. But even so they did that, the union came back and said that in 72 hours, so like by Monday, they could be back on strike again. And that not only affects the railways, that affects like local transit. Like here in Ontario, we have GO Transit trains, which is run on CP Rail and that. So there'll be no transportation at all for commuters or anything like that. And I understand that it's going to be possibly affecting United States too, because some of the products that we send on rail go through CN or CP. I think it's CN Kansas, I think. And you won't be able to get some of the products. And it's very interesting how this is happening now, just when harvest time is happening for the farmers to send their grains for, flour and everything like that. It's just interesting. And of course, I forget who it is. Some billionaire owns CN Rail or CP Rail or something like that. And it will affect a lot of us if they stay on strike for a long, long time, because all, the hazardous chemicals, chlorine, like I said, the food and everything are put on the rails right across Canada and in parts of the States too.
Interesting.
Yeah, but what's all more interesting is you haven't even heard Trudeau himself make any comments about it. He seems to be in hiding, and I think this week coming up, his caucus is supposed to have their summer caucus meeting. I think it's in PEI, Prince Edward Island, and just before they come back to work in, I guess, about another 2 weeks in September or something like that. So things are going to be interesting with that, because a lot of stuff has come out. Still, people are questioning about the foreign interference, and also Trudeau has just approved that a former member of his Liberal Party wants to start up another a separate party, an independent party. But he's doing that because it might take some of the votes away from the other parties, where then it's just like a plan to sort of keep him in power, because then he'll probably merge with the Liberal Party once the elections are over whenever we have them, and I'm hoping that it's going to be happening very soon, sooner than expected.
Hmm.
And another thing that's happening here is, was it like we have franchises of, Tim Hortons, McDonald's, and all that. A lot of these franchises are being bought up by Sikh and Hindu communities or people. And what they're ending up doing is, a lot of Canadians are raising a fuss, is that these Indian immigrants or whatever are just hiring their own people. And a lot of Canadians are saying, I want to get a job, but they won't hire me because I'm a Canadian, and they hire foreign immigrants, so that way they can pay less, for their people than, if you or I were to apply for a job. And a lot of people are starting to boycott. Like, I know McDonald's is reporting here that they're starting to lose a lot of money because people are refusing to go to McDonald's, because right now they can't even afford the prices. Like, it's like friggin' almost like $20 to buy a Big Mac combo or something like that here.
It's the same here. It's so expensive. It's more expensive. And here's the funny thing: it's more expensive to eat healthy than it is to eat unhealthy.
Yeah. And
to buy a salad is more expensive than it is to buy a Big Mac.
Yeah. And I can remember when I was a kid, way back in, as the younger kids say, in the 1900s.
The good old days.
I remember, like, on every Friday, my dad would come home from work. He got paid, and our treat was to go to McDonald's. But back then, that's when the Big Macs were big, compared to what they are now. And but yeah, it's like same thing with Burger King, same thing with, like, Wendy's, all the fast food places. It's getting to be so darn expensive.
Yeah. Oh, you mean back when Wendy's had chili?
Oh
yeah, and the baked potatoes.
Oh,
yeah. I remember.
Yeah, and the other thing that's starting to go on here is that some of the Red Lobsters are starting to close down here in Canada. And
here too.
The thing is, a report came out, is what it is the Red Lobster Company sold the land that the stores are owned, and the new owners of the land have increased the lease or the rent of the land for the stores, so the stores, or the restaurants, can't afford to pay it now. And you just know what they're doing is they're pushing them out, so then they can turn around and build high rises or something like that.
Well, Red Lobster turned to crap anyways. Back in the day, Red Lobster was the place to go. But, just like every other restaurant, they wait a few years and then they start cutting corners and they turn to crap. The only thing that's still good there is the biscuits.
Yep. And up here, I don't know, down there, you can buy in the stores the mix that they, and that, they're good. Every so often I'll buy a box of that and make those biscuits, because those are so damn good.
I mean, the best thing really is the Cheddar Bay biscuits. I don't know.
Yeah.
And that's about all what's on in Canada really right now, because it's just quiet. But I've been following a lot of stuff this week, and like I tell you, I tried to watch the DNC, and my stomach just turned, because it
was terrible. Wasn't it?
It was nothing but division. Preaching hate and so much negativity. Heck, I had to sage my phone after watching it on, and like you look at that, is they had walls up to keep people out. You're talking about the Parenthood there doing free abortions, and guys getting snip and all that, and all the protests that were happening there, like, was it the one sort of had to chuckle, which was kind of gross, is that group of people that went into that one place and threw maggots on
Yeah, that was the
all
hotel.
the
Yeah.
yeah, and that. But you would a completely different comparison to that than the Republican one. There was no protests happening, no stores or anything were boarded up. You know, it was more of a positive convention than the DNC, and all they ever spoke about, what is it? I think someone said, I saw someone report that they counted like almost 300 times where they just talked about Donald Trump, and like you
Just
were
mentioning
saying,
his name. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, and like they never really talked about any policies or anything. And a lot of people are saying, well, uh, uh, Harris was saying that she's going to do this and that when she gets in the presidency. She has the power to do that now, so why not do it now? And if I was an American, I'd still be voting Trump. Yes, he's not a saint, but
But I'm not voting for him to be a saint.
I know, but he when he makes a promise, he keeps it, or at least tries to. Like he just he does everything he can to pass his promises that he makes.
Well,
I like the part where he actually says words.
yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Hey, Phil,
Yeah.
what the Canadian people, what as a, I mean, what have you seen their response be to the DNC convention?
They think she's a waste of skin.
Really?
Yeah, there's more people that support Trump. Heck, I've even seen on social media where people have even ordered Trump shirts, MAGA hats, everything, and they're wearing them here in Canada.
No. Get
Yeah.
me pictures. I need pictures of this.
I will. And I've seen TikToks where people are doing that too, and
That's fantastic.
and like, and we're hoping for election because what we see here is the leader of the Progressive Conservative Party, Paul Poilievre, has been sort of called like the Canadian Trump, because he wants, make Canada great again, to reduce, drop the, the carbon tax here, the the inflation rate is so high, drop the mortgage, rentals and that. And so like I can just see that if Poilievre gets in and Trump gets in, we'll be having a much stronger relationship with the United States than we do with Trudeau in power. And so, and I did watch last night, and was it Trump's rally with RFK, and I had to laugh as I like what Trump called Camilla as Comrade Camilla.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that was fantastic.
Yeah.
And like I do like RFK. I know, like, to me he reminds me of a lot of what the old Democrat Party used to be like in the States.
He's a lot closer to it for sure.
And he's bipartisan in a lot of stuff too. He is willing to work with over the years he has been willing to work with the Republican Party, and he has good morals, like look with his dad and JFK.
I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the word bipartisan.
Yeah.
But what I will say this about him is he does see the value in some conservative ideals. And
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that.
And what I liked about RFK, he said, okay, Donald Trump and I don't agree with a lot of things, but we will discuss them, to come to a mutual agreement and that.
And the reason I don't like the term bipartisan is because that word has somehow created what we now call a uniparty.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like that's why we have so many what we call rhinos on the right, because they're not really. It's not so much. It's almost a third party.
Yeah. And see, that's the other thing I don't like about having a third party when there is election, because a very strong possibility that the wrong person will get voted in, because it takes votes from another party that would have won.
Especially when you consider, like in our instance, the third parties that we do have are closer to a conservative than they are liberal. Except for there's a hippie side of like the libertarians that's just kind of really awkward to have. But for the most part, those were conservative votes. So when you waste them on a national platform like that, and you vote third party on a national platform, you're wasting conservative votes and giving more power to the Liberal Party in that election.
Yeah, and that's a bit different here. Is that it's more the third parties are more of like a Liberal or Democratic party than they are a conservative or like a Republican type a party. So, and it's just that it's just so hard, because they always get these other parties that all of a sudden pop up during elections, and you just shake your head and cringe. Is that they're going to be taking votes from where they should be going, and so that's the frustration here. But like you said that he's dropping out of 10 of the battleground states. Now, I did hear something else, and I don't know if it's true, that because it took so long for the Democrat Party to have their convention, that there's a couple states, I think there's about 3 or 4, that won't be taking Biden's name off the ballot because their rules state that it has to be done by a certain time, and they've passed passed that deadline. Now, what will happen if people still vote for Biden? Would they put those votes towards Harris, or would they just say it's non and void?
I actually have no idea.
Yeah, I was like, I don't either. I don't have an answer.
But I like to see Trump, but I still, from what I've seen at the convention, is that damn well the Democrats are going to, from hell and high water, are going to try and make it that they still win, because they have a taste of the power and their greed, and they'll do whatever they can to stay in power. Yeah. And I've even heard so many stories, a lot of people, especially on social media, who have been censored by the Harris government because or the Biden government, because they talk foully or whatever of the Biden government and more positive of the Trump. Like, I've heard a lot of stories that some of the YouTube stuff where RFK was on, and it all of a sudden disappeared or got censored and no one could see it.
Well, they cut his mic yesterday in the middle of, once he started talking about the negative things that the news media had done to try to destroy his campaign. All of the major networks cut his mic.
Yeah. Yep.
So, I mean, that tells you what the take on it is. Mm-hmm. Big time. And we're seeing that across, we still have the issue that some of the states are dealing with their voter registry. We've got Texas, their Attorney General Paxton is in the process of prosecuting like 25,000 people that are all registered to vote that are non-U.S. citizens. I mean, there's some pretty big stuff going on that are attempting to try to make sure that the Democrats will successfully pull off another illegal election.
Yeah, and I still say too, you're not going to see Harris, do any, press conferences or any interviews or anything. She's just going to strictly just stay and do, the rallies and everything. And has she agreed to any of the debates at all?
Not really.
No.
No.
Like I know Trump he's already in that.
Oh,
So
he's all
even,
about it.
Yeah, even with what is it, ABC or whatever, Stopanopolis or whatever,
Yeah.
who's going to be host. He's agreed to it. At first, he said he wasn't going to because of a court case or something like that.
Yeah,
So-
I think if you see Kamala in a debate, that's going to be hilarious.
Yeah, and he's just going to, her voice is so annoying. She has such a nasal sound when she talks.
Maybe that's why she just laughs nonstop with that weird hyena hackle.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's very strange.
Yeah. And that's like, I'm just going to wait and see what happens now. But I bet you any money after RFK has put his support around Trump, you're going to see Trump's numbers rise again, even more.
I think it's a very interesting thing to see.
Yeah,
And
and
certainly what it's going to do should be interesting.
And
For
I even
sure.
heard that his numbers went up this week. Once the convention went on, a lot more people were, I guess, they did polls and it turned out his numbers went up even higher than hers. So,
I wanted to add something because I was away from the computer and I couldn't comment on this, but a minute ago you were just talking about the debates.
yeah.
She has refused the debates,
Mm.
or a debate at least, because they wouldn't supply her with the questions first.
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
What an idiot.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, too. If you were to put them both in a debate, he would eat her alive. And she knows it
yeah.
because she has no answers to anything. He answers with solutions and a plan. She has no plan. You don't believe he has a plan? Hey, look up Agenda 47.
Yeah. Yeah. And he
47,
even,
not this other crap. Look up Agenda 47. That's the real one.
and he even said last night at his rally that he knows nothing. He doesn't support that 2025 or whatever. He says, I don't even really know what it's about. He says, I don't back
No.
that.
No.
But
No.
it's going to be very interesting now to see what happens. And by the way, the rumor was that the special guest that was supposed to be closing was supposed to be Beyonce. But the rumor was Harris didn't want someone who would get more of a cheer than she would, right?
Well, there's
Well, I
that.
can believe that.
Hey, Phil, tell everybody where they can get your stuff.
Absolutely. You can find me on Facebook at Original Crow Feather Heel and Crystal Jewelry. I have pictures and videos of all the products I make. I make bracelets, necklaces, and pendulums. And you can also find me on Instagram at Chief Crow Feather, and I have the same pictures and videos on there. Reach out to me if you're interested or would like something made, and we can sit down and discuss. We'll find the right stone, the right bead for you. And you can also find me down where you are there at Country State Design and Common Ground.
All right, Phil, thanks for joining us, buddy.
Thanks, Phil.
All right. Take care, and have a great week,
You
All right,
too.
We'll see you.
All right.
Oh, with that, let's send our friends over at KYRO off to their little last break before the end of the show. So we'll see them. Those of you who are here with us on video, we'll continue talking. And they're gone. Let's talk about them now.
Excellent.
Okay. The KYRO people are gone. Let's talk about them.
Well, there you go.
I'm kidding. We're not going to talk about them. Ah, that's fun talking to him.
It is.
It's nice to get a different outlook on things, but here's what I find funny over the last few years. The trend in Canada turning more conservative than they ever were. They've never been conservative.
No, not like this.
But for them to open their eyes, and it took Trudeau to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really all it took is several years of terrible, terrible Trudeau. I mean, we were talking about all the crazy stuff going on in Canada back 2020 when we first started, and it just has progressively got worse and worse with dear old Justin. He has definitely not been a friend to Canada.
You know what's funny?
What?
Elizabeth's sister works for Trudeau.
Well, there's always that.
Yeah.
He's a weird dude. Like, really, really out there.
Yeah, and I'm not even sure what to compare him with. He's really a Canadian Obama in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
I guess that's the closest I can get.
Well,
when he first started, they tried to compare him to a Kennedy. And just, no. He's more like a Canadian Obama.
Definitely.
But
he's a strange duck. But, yeah.
Where is my mouse? There it is.
Oh, you lost your mouse.
I lost my mouse.
Grab the cat. It'll find it.
Oh, especially my cats.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh.
Your cats find it in a heartbeat. Ugh.
We were talking about Agenda 47, and it's quite interesting how the left has basically criticized Agenda 47.
Mm-hmm.
The legality and feasibility of it. And they actually, the biggest thing is they've described it as fascist and authoritarian, and which I find very interesting, because if you were to actually go and read Agenda 47, man, it's powerful. It's powerful because he talks about the border and the migrant invasion, right? I mean, like that's number one on the whole thing.
Yeah.
Which we know has impacted our economy in the last 3.5 years.
Shit, no kidding.
Which also includes, deportation. He wants to get everything out. He wants to clear house.
It's a great idea.
And the reason for that too is here just recently, where was it? Florida, where was it that just cleared out like 6,000 illegals off their voting record or their voting?
That was Louisiana.
Louisiana. Okay. 6,000. That's 6,000 illegal votes.
Right.
So don't tell me it's not going on in your city too.
Oh, it's going on. It is definitely going on wherever you are.
They shut down energy production in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
At one time, we were self-sufficient under Trump. People were working in the energy field, whether it be the pipelines or whatever it was, they were working. Their housing that they had was then given to illegal migrants.
Yeah.
Huh.
Strange.
The United States is now outsourcing a lot of its manufacturing. Trump wants to bring the manufacturing back to the United States. He even spoke directly to General Motors and those companies saying, Michigan and all this, let's put these people back to work. We want you to be building our cars, not other countries. We want you to be building our cars and our motorcycles, Harley Davidson.
Maybe if they would stop, like realistically, here's the problem with the American car industry. We're still off air, right?
Yeah.
They make shit.
Oh, definitely.
Absolutely terrible dog shit.
We've talked about this. My next
American
truck's going to be a
cars
Toyota.
Are garbage.
Yeah.
Big time. It doesn't matter where they're made. It's the quality of the employee that they are hiring.
I have
It
not
is
had a
crap.
decent. My last decent Chevrolet pickup was an 80s model. Early 80s model.
Exactly.
81.
So, there's some big stuff out there. We saw this last week, tons of layoffs in Michigan relating to Dodge ending the Dodge Ram after a long time. And we saw layoffs at a couple at GM facilities and everything else. And when you boil it down to see what actually caused these layoffs, it's pretty simple what caused these layoffs. Biden and Harris's green car agenda.
And he wants to get rid of that.
Because nobody wants to buy that crap. Except for people that are a little light and the loafers like Tim, whatever his name is. Nobody else wants that stuff. Nobody wants it. You may convince each other that that's what you want, but the truth of it is that is not what you want.
No.
Nobody actually wants a car you have to plug in. What's wrong with you?
Well, we know one person that bought one.
Well, some people do that. But for the vast majority, nobody wants that crap. It's dumb, it's stupid, and it costs the car companies billions of dollars that they will never recover.
And Mike's correct, too. Also, you add into that the CAFE standards.
Well, and that's the other side, is the destruction of the CAFE standards is a big deal. Because you have Toyota currently suing to remove the CAFE standards because they're saying it falls under Chevron indifference, and it does.
Yes, I would agree.
So... Yeah.
I would agree. He wants tax cuts, large ones. And no tax on tips. Okay, that's fine. Kamala does too. Wonder where she got that from.
Amazing. Well, if you actually used your brain, you could do away with all income taxes on everyone in the country if you reinstitute tariffs.
Now, that's part of his plan, though.
Exactly.
If they're charging us $100 to bring stuff in there, we're going to charge them $300 to bring it in.
Yeah.
Guess what, America? You'll be buying American made again.
Now we just have to find some quality in American made.
That can happen, but you have to give people a reason.
Yeah.
And that's how you do it. Have them, if they believe, look, patriotism is a good thing. And when people are, remember, okay, let me give you one example. Remember when Saturn was actually owned by the employees?
Yeah.
It was a great product.
It really was.
Those Saturn cars were fabulous.
They did, and they lasted forever.
Oh, my goodness. And then it wasn't.
And then
now they're crap again.
And therein lied the problem. They were great cars that lasted forever. They were comparable to Toyotas and things of that nature. The problem was they lasted forever, so you couldn't get nonstop return customers like you do on something like a modern GMC Equinox. It has about a 4-year shelf life before it's dead because they are garbage.
The weaponization of the government against its people. Not only have they weaponized against political candidates or political adversaries, they've weaponized against American citizens. I will cite January 6th.
I will cite the Obama administration when the IRS was going after evangelical groups.
You don't hire 83, 84, whatever it is, 1,000 IRS agents for nothing.
No.
That's a stadium full.
Yeah.
That's Dallas Stadium full.
I need to send Elon over there on day one. What do you actually do here? Just a thought.
So
did you see?
Go ahead. No, I just want to continue real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
He's talking about strengthening and modernizing the military again. And let's face it, Democrats have a large history of shutting down bases, reverting money, taking money away from the military, not caring much at all about our defense in any way, shape, or form.
Correct.
He wants to bring that back. He wants to strengthen the Constitution.
Okay.
Primarily first, second, with those strong again, because if we've seen this whole censorship thing against the First Amendment, it only matters if it's a conservative speaking, but not a liberal.
Right.
Liberals can say whatever they want to, but a conservative can't.
True.
That doesn't work. It doesn't work that way. And we know there's been a whole war on the Second Amendment for a long time now.
A long time.
And I'm sorry, but Reagan didn't help with that.
No, Reagan did not help with that.
He did some great things, but that was not one of them.
Well,
I'm not sure you can save the U.S. dollar. I know that's in his plan, but I don't know. That's a toughie.
it's hard to say.
People keep talking about, oh, we can go back to the gold standards. No, you can't. You can't go back because there's nothing to go back to. We have nothing to back it up.
Correct.
So you can't go back to the gold standard. That's not feasible. Fiat currency is what everybody's. That's a whole show, but we won't get into that. Keeping men out of women's sports.
Don't care.
That's just part of his deal. Deport pro-Hamas radicals.
Absolutely.
Secure our elections.
You mean go to paper ballots? What a great concept.
Same-day voting.
Yeah. Same day voting, paper
Voter
ballots.
identification.
Yep.
Paper ballots. And proof of citizenship.
And they have to be hand counted. No electronic counting.
That's Agenda 47, people. I don't understand what is authoritarian about Agenda 47. Please explain it to me.
Not a clue.
There is nothing authoritative or fascist about that entire thing.
No.
So can you imagine if the United States was a tech giant again?
No.
I can remember in the 80s. Remember, we led. 70s and 80s, man, we led. We were the bad boys.
Yeah.
And then we just handed it over.
Well, yeah. As the U.S. typically does.
Yes, sir.
Every single time. So did you happen to see the Secret Service screwed up again this week? Big time.
What was that?
So Trump was going down to the border.
Okay.
And a reporter asked him, hey, are you aware of this person that said that they're going to kill you today? And he said, no, I wasn't. He kind of laughed and said, well, this is a dangerous place. Well, as it turned out, a 50-something, 60-year-old something registered Democrat had said that he was going to kill Trump when he was at the border.
Where did he say this?
He posted it on a online,
some social media thing?
like a real forum. And he certainly had the means and method to do it. Led to a 3-day manhunt of them trying to find him. Secret Service never told him until a reporter asked him about it.
So, okay.
Had no idea that, hey, just so you know, there's a guy who's made a threat.
How does a reporter know about it before Trump does?
Well, there's a good question.
Where did the reporter get it from?
So the reporter got it from the police bulletin, the manhunt that went out.
See, that just gets worse and worse.
Yeah.
So a police bulletin goes out, and Trump still doesn't know.
No.
Reporter gets it from the bulletin. Trump still doesn't know.
Yeah.
Where's the breakdown in communication?
Secret Service.
I'm not even going to ask why, because we already know why.
Yeah. Yep, they eventually got the guy.
You know, it's funny you bring up Secret Service because there was several that were suspended, administrative suspension or whatever, which means nothing more than you go home and still get paid.
Yeah.
And one of them was the special agent in charge.
I imagine that.
Because they didn't pick up the radios
So they could talk to the local cops.
so they could talk to the local cops who would have then informed them.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty dumb. I read that article here a little bit ago. I went, what?
Yeah.
You mean you were doing a joint operation and you didn't stop to pick up the radios to talk to the people you were doing the joint operation with? Really? You didn't think that might be important? Like, hey, we should probably be able to talk to each other. Weird. I thought it was pretty weird.
Oh, I got nothing on that. I can't. I just can't.
Yeah.
That whole thing is just ridiculous.
Yeah. I went, oh, well, that's nice. Yes, sir.
2 words.
Yeah.
Iron Dome.
Okay. What about it?
Has been, again, a significant game changer for Israel.
Yeah.
So it's worked really well. There was apparently more was blocked with the Iron Dome.
Oh, they started that again?
Yeah. So,
Wow.
yeah. There was and of course I'm over on the Jerusalem Post again
Nice.
because we like checking out some of that stuff once in a while. Apparently there was a jihad tunnel route in Khan Yunis, and I'm not sure exactly where that's at, but some IDF soldiers destroyed it. So that'll keep them from. These are the tunnels that were coming in, I'm guessing, to
Yeah.
Israel.
Well, that makes a lot of sense.
So, which is an old ploy. They've done that everybody's done that. The Japanese did it. The Koreans did it. The Vietnamese did it.
Yep.
So, there was an article over there too. You guys, you should really go read sometime when you get a chance. And it's jpost.com. Jerusalem Post is really a great publication. I very much enjoy checking that out from time to time.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently Iran, there's an article in there about Iran spying on some senior members of the of Biden and Trump's teams.
Well, I can believe that.
Because they're trying to keep their eye on both, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure they are. Oh, leave it to Iran. Interesting. And so the oil fields burn.
And so the oil fields burn.
Not yet. Sorry.
That's another great show. And so as the oil fields burn.
Yes.
Some great music in there too. So how far you think these ceasefire talks are going to go?
Well, I mean, here's the problem. They're not going to go very far because Hamas doesn't have any hostages to give up. So how far do you think they're going to go when they are negotiating for something that Hamas doesn't have?
Yeah, it's like you don't have anything to put on the bargaining table.
Right. Let's be honest. They're not finding very many live hostages. So, it seems as though they don't really have any grounds to bargain with. And if they don't have anything to bargain with, then there's no reason to continue talks. There's only reasons to begin carpet bombing. I mean,
if you're gonna try to bargain with somebody, if you're gonna try to make a deal, you have to at least have something to offer.
Exactly.
The only thing they would have to offer is we quit, and that's not going to happen because that's not their style.
Well, but here's the thing: even if they say, "Hey, we quit, we won't do it again," they'll do it again in a year. So it doesn't really matter.
All they're going to do is regroup.
Right.
Yeah.
So
no, you're right.
You can't give them that opportunity to regroup. There's no question about it. There's just no way around that.
France is still having issues.
Oh, are they?
Things are still going on over there. Apparently, there was a another attack outside of a French synagogue.
Really?
Yeah, a Jewish synagogue over there, which caused a car explosion.
Oh, I hadn't heard that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
That was reported by Reuters, actually.
Imagine that. France is still having problems after its disastrous Olympics. Hmm.
There is a. I'm going to open this one because I like the headline. As soon as it opens.
Yeah. Not so much, huh?
There we go. Apparently, the DNC denied a Palestinian speaker during their conference
Oh, yeah.
or convention, I should say. So the Muslim Women for Harris Walls withdrew their support.
Okay.
Because they wouldn't let a Palestinian speaker talk.
Well, I'm going to be honest. I listened to quite a few of their speakers, and I don't know why they denied that one, because their speakers were off the chain anyway.
Well, and it was all pro Gaza anyway.
Well, of course.
They tried to cover it up, and they tried to shroud it in Americanism and everything, and we got to make peace in the Middle East. But we know they're pro Gaza. They're pro Muslim.
They're pro-terrorist.
Pro-terrorist, pro-Muslim.
The
entire party.
I mean, look at what is happening to all of Europe. That's what they want here. Look at New York. That is what they want for the entire country.
They want stores to have to hire security. They want stores to go out of business. The reason being is because they want you to rely on them for everything.
Yes.
That's totalitarianism.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's fascism. That is socialism.
That is the end goal.
That is the end goal.
This
Sunday, coming to you.
Socialism! Be there!
Be there.
It's quite a thing. And just listening to some of the random things we have. Did you hear the lieutenant governor out of Minnesota or wherever Tim Walz is from? She spoke. What a nut job. So she gave us her made-up Indian name from a made-up Indian tribe, and it translates roughly to powerful, strong woman. Stop it. That is the biggest crock of absolute dog I have ever heard. You are so full of crap. Do you guys just come up with stuff just so you can rub on each other's ego nonstop and try to determine who's more woker?
Yes.
Yes, woker. That's what I'm calling it.
Woker.
Elizabeth Warren came out and was in strong support. We all remember Elizabeth Warren, better known as Pocahontas to everybody. Elizabeth Warren, she came out in strong support of Harris's super price controls and wanted to talk about how she would immediately vote for it and back that bill.
Okay. Elizabeth Warren is just... I can't even believe she's still around.
She's so annoying. Who was the one that finally died? She was just an annoying one. The one that couldn't even vote. She was like paralyzed and she had a stroke, and then her aides were voting for her and all kinds. Elizabeth Warren. Wait. No. Is that it? No. I can't think what her name was. But man, she was... you would think that old Pocahontas Elizabeth Warren would just finally freaking go away. But no, not yet. She's still hanging about, torturing people's lives. Absolutely ridiculous.
Hey.
Yeah.
After the show.
Yeah.
Everybody, you got to join us over at the gun shop.
Probably should.
You got some cool new stuff, eh?
I got tons of really cool new stuff. Lots and lots and lots of stuff. So much stuff. Cool stuff.
Fun stuff. By the way, I'm liking the new beard look.
Oh, thanks.
That's what I've been trying to get you to do for quite a while. I like that. That looks good.
Well, thanks. Yeah, there's lots of fun new stuff down there. We got all kinds of really cool stuff.
It's a great weekend for fishing.
It is.
So you need to come get some worms, come get your bows, come get your arrows, your tips, get your gear, and get out there because go spend some time with your family. Take the boys out on the river.
Go do something fun. It's
And girls, take the girls out there too.
Lots of shotgun shells and crap came in. So if you want to go out and do some clay bird shooting this week, dove season opens in 2 weeks. So you might want to go get a little practice in if you're planning on going. September 1st.
So I never keep track of the dates, but
Yep. So if you're planning on doing some of that, you might want to come get some shotgun shells so you can go do a little practice because you don't want to suck. And got tons of shotguns. If you don't have one and you're thinking, hey, I'd like to go this year, well, we got it. I also have a ton of long gun, like bolt action type stuff for those of you that like the deer hunting game. I've got a bunch of that. And then for the rest of us real people, I've got a lot of, other types of guns there that you need not for deer hunting. So you might come in and take a look at that kind of stuff. Got some really great pistols in. Big time. Got some SIGs, got some Canics, Glocks, all kinds of stuff. Got the new 22 caliber Glock. That's pretty cool. That's a little baby guy. Anyway, so if you're out and about, come by and see me today, 203 Main Street in Winfield. You can find us on Facebook at Black Flag Outfitters. I'm going to post a deal of the day here in a few minutes once we get down there to the shop, and then you can come down and join us and see what's up. Just got some new Bullpup 12 gauges in, so if you need one of those, I've got 2 of them in stock, and they are really cool looking. So come on by. Come see us. We're going to be down there doing fun stuff, drinking coffee, having fun. So come down and come see us.
You said the magic word, bullpup.
I did. Those bullpups are awesome. Yee-haw. Oh.
That's not very nice.
Oh. Very nice. Hopefully you guys had a fun time and joined us. If you're just now hitting the show and maybe you missed it, go check us out on rumble.com. Download the Rumble app. We are, of course, Traveling East Productions on there, and this has been the Morning Java Show. If you're listening to us on headbangersradio.com, we appreciate you joining in there. And, of course, if you missed the show, find us, Traveling East Productions, on any of your favorite podcasts. We are there. Any of those platforms, you can listen to the show. That's all I got for the day. Come see me, buy some guns. CT, what do you got, buddy?
Well, I don't know. Just come down to the gun shop and have a cup of coffee with us. Hang out. Let's talk guns. Let's talk liberty. Let's talk about it all. Why? Stay awake, not woke, and we'll see you.